Welcome back, everyone. Never too early to start thinking ahead about the election time. To do that for us, Michelle Cox is here, the director of the Auglaize County Board of Elections, and her deputy director, Luke Scott, is here. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Like a lot of counties, you guys did some consolidation of the polling places. Tell us, again, why that happens. Is it just a matter of numbers and just makes sense to do that?
Yes. One of the main reasons is, believe it or not, our county is growing and our precincts are growing.
Okay.
So once you have a certain number, which is 1,400 in a precinct, you need to then, if over that, then you need to start thinking about splitting those precincts.
Sure.
And reducing the numbers.
Yeah.
So some typical situations of a precinct, maybe, you know, you would maybe have to wait in line if it's too big,
yeah.
or, you know, the ADA requirements to get into the building and such. So we really took a look at that this year as far as needing to expand and do some different things. So we welcomed Luke this year, and he really is an expertise on this.
Oh, nice.
He does a lot of census maps,
Sure.
census blocks, things that you have to do when you actually move your districts a little bit.
Yeah.
So he'll talk about a little bit what we did this year in Auglaize.
Yeah, so looking at the precinct size, after the August election, we looked, and for example, the village of New Bremen, there was a precinct New Bremen East. It was at 1397. So we have to split that. So we created New Bremen South. St. Mary's Township was also growing. So looking at that, how do we split that? School districts are involved, census blocks are involved. So we created St. Mary's South.
Okay.
And looking ahead too with Union Township, we went ahead and split that along the lines of the Waynesville-Goshen School District and the Wapak School District. So you're split based on your school district.
Okay, so all that math skills you learned in high school and college, that came back.
That's right.
That really helped out. Okay, well, let's talk about this. I know all the counties are having this problem with finding poll workers, and I know a lot of it's, some of your volunteers have been there for years, are kind of aging out of it, and sometimes there's so much going on, it's harder to get young folks too, isn't it?
Right. Well, with going along with splitting precincts and such, it's another main reason is because of poll worker recruitment. This year, I can tell you personally, I talked to one small precinct and I asked 11 people if they would want to be a poll worker. First of all, poll workers aren't volunteers. It's actually a paid position.
Paid position, okay.
So it's right around in Auglaize County, $155 with the training and working for the day. Don't get me wrong, it's a long day.
Sure.
And that's where we're finding that I think the average poll worker is probably around 75 years old.
Yeah.
And it's a very long day. So with this splitting, we need an equal amount of poll workers bipartisanly. If you're in a single polling location, you need 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats.
Okay.
So when you go asking and literally calling voters to ask if there'll be poll workers, we struggle. And it's nationwide.
Yeah.
So in Auglaize right now, we have enough Republicans because it's Republican dominant, but we don't have enough nons or Democrats to fill those equal positions. That we need to, and that is in code by law.
Okay, Luke, what do we need to think about for the November election as far as absentee balloting and that kind of thing if we're thinking about that?
Well, you need to know that absentee ballots begin to be mailed out on October 11th. So that's coming up. Get your application into us. The sooner you get us the application, the sooner you can get your ballot. Also on October 11th, absentee voting in office begins.
Okay.
So you can come in office, vote in person, and that runs for 4 weeks. So we have ample time here in Auglaize County, well, all of Ohio, really, to go out there and cast your ballot. So.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. Medical news coming up next on Noon Edition.